This Saturday night, November 9th, at the Club Regent Event Centre at 7:30, one of Winnipeg's oldest folk ensembles will be celebrating 60 years of dance, music, and the joy of life. From its humble beginnings, starting with a small group of dancers gathered in the North End basement of the late Sarah Sommer in 1964, the Sarah Sommer High Folk Ensemble has grown to be North America's oldest and largest Israeli dance ensemble. Consisting of more than 40 singers, dancers, and musicians, the group has traveled the world spreading their love of Israeli dance and Jewish culture. They perform music and dance numbers representative of countries throughout the Jewish diaspora, including Israel, Morocco, Ethiopia, Russia, and Spain, to name just a few. Wherever they have gone, they have been ambassadors for the city of Winnipeg and have thoroughly entertained audiences through their high-caliber, high-octane performances. Their concert this Saturday, November 9th, which is called Full Circle, will celebrate 60 years of Jewish culture and resilience and 60 years of Chai. And joining me here in the Classic 107 studio, I am joined by co-artistic directors Jesse Popeski and Sarah Sommer and Elan Marchinko, who is the artistic advisor of the group. Hello to you all. It's so great to have you here.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hello, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so firstly, I want to clear up any potential confusion. I said in the preamble, the late Sarah Sommer, and yet we have Sarah Sommer here. Can you talk about who you are named after and give a little bit of history behind the group?
Sure. So it's actually a common misconception when I'm introducing myself to people and talking about the ensemble. This ensemble was founded by my grandmother, Sarah Sommer, 60 years ago. As you mentioned, started off as a small group dancing in her basement. And a few years after the group's inception, she had passed. And so the group continued on without her and has continued to grow into what we know today in her name. And I am named after her. So that's the connection there.
So the group it's part of your DNA. It was sort of a...
I guess so, yeah.
You essentially had to be in the group and perform. And now you're one of the co-artistic directors. Is wonderful. So Sarah, we know how you got involved. Jesse and Elan, can you talk about what made you want to join the group and become part of Chai? Jesse, maybe I'll start with you.
Sure. I joined the group as a guitarist. I was in university studying jazz guitar at the time and was just looking for opportunities to perform. And I continued with the group. I still do play guitar with the group, but I'm also directing with Sarah and have been in the group since, I believe, 2015, so about 9 years, and that's where we are.
And Elan, how about you?
Mm-hmm. I joined as a dancer in 2007. Winnipeg's dance community is very small, which is also very lovely because I happened to meet Rachel Cooper, who was the dance director at the time, and a former dancer, Jenna Millery-Siskin, and they both encouraged me to join Chai, and I've been part of it ever since.
Great. The show is significant for many reasons. 60 years, obviously, it's quite a milestone. Can you talk about the number 60 and the significance of the Hebrew letter Samech? I hope I'm saying that right. And the character that represents that number. Sarah, maybe I'll get you to talk to that.
Sure. So in the Hebrew language or the Hebrew alphabet, each number has a numerical value. So the number representing the letter representing the number 60 is the Samech, which if you look at the way that it's drawn or that it's written, it's like basically a circle, a closed circle. And as well, all letters have kind of like a symbolic or metaphorical value or meaning as well. So when doing a little bit of research, I found that this letter Samech and the shape of the circle really represents like the interconnectedness and the way of upholding one another. And I thought that was a really beautiful message to impart for our 60th anniversary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic. And the anniversary date is significant as well, right? Do you want to just maybe touch on that of November 9th?
Sure. November 9th is the anniversary of Kristallnacht, which at the start of the Second World War was part of a pogrom against Jews in Germany, business owners. It's in English, we call it the Night of Broken Glass. So part of our show will commemorate that horrible event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So I know a lot of people, when they think of Jewish music and dance, they think of klezmer from Eastern Europe. But the show is going to consist of way more than that. Can the three of you talk about some of the regions of the world that Chai will be performing numbers from?
Sure. Do you want to start, Elan?
Sure. So the repertoire runs the gamut from traditional Israeli to fusion of flamenco and Moroccan. Should I keep?
Yeah,
keep going.
And then we have a few Yemenite pieces as well as contemporary dance to Jewish music. So that's what makes this group amazing is that, you look at these performers in a full group rehearsal, they have to learn to embody all these very distinctive styles, right, and languages if you're a singer. So, yeah, it's just tremendous and very, very diverse.
Yeah, and I think just to add on to that, it's really representative of our community as a whole, the Jewish community in the diaspora and living in Israel. We really are a multicultural community based on our history and where we come from. And if you walk down the street in Israel, you'll see all of those cultures blending together, and same thing in the communities outside of Israel. So we choose our repertoire based on how we feel we can best represent the community.
And one of the things, full disclosure, I played with the group for 15 years. One of the things I loved is that we would do numbers that you would hear in Israel right now if you were just walking down the street outside a cafe, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we our repertoire, we do have some more traditional folk music, and then we also add in some of the more contemporary music as well. So we really get that contrast of the old versus the new, the history versus the present and the future, all kind of blended into one.
Perfect. I saw the program, and as I said, I've played with the group for many years. There's many of my favorites on Saturday's concert, Maya Female Elot, Sisu, Ella Breeder, etc. It's a fantastic program. I'm going to go down the line. Can each of you talk about a favorite number for you that is in Saturday's concert and maybe tell us why? Elan, I'm going to start with you.
Sure. That is a really hard question because they're all so stunning. I would say my favorite piece is Maim, where the dancers are embodying water. And it is choreographed by Farah Fernando, who is also a Chai alumnus. And to me, we talk about water as life. And so it's this beautiful intersection with Chai, which means alive. But also, I love how, again, and I had talked about how Winnipeg's dance community is so small. We often think of Winnipeg dance as maybe Winnipeg's contemporary dancers and the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. But if you zoom out, we have Rusalka and Chai, who are also very old established groups and founded by women. And this whole show is new choreography by women. And so when I look at Maim, I see all these beautiful intersecting sort of genealogies. So, Farah trained a contemporary dancer. She danced with Chai, Rachel Cooper as well, who is one of our beloved choreographers. So that's what I see, this beautiful blending.
Wonderful. Jesse, how about you?
Sure. I am not going to cop out and say that I love every piece, but I do love every piece in the show. I really do. We have just a fantastic program planned. And what I'll say about that is just that I think we were maybe concerned going in that it could be disjunct to have so many different styles, both modern and older traditional things, and the variety of different cultures we draw from. But I think it just makes for a show with tons of variety and ups and downs and all sorts of feelings and emotions that come across. So it really makes for a great show. But I am going to pick one, and I'm going to pick one as a guitar player because I am sitting in the back there. As much as I am a director, I am sitting in the back playing my guitar throughout the show and loving doing that. So we're doing, we like doing this. Sarah and I did this in our previous show, The Mountains Will Dance, where we pair two pieces together of contrasting styles by an artist. And in this show, one of the new pieces we're debuting, are 2 songs by Mor Karbasi, and we've done pieces by her before, Shekharchoret. And so this is what Elan mentioned, has some flamenco and Moroccan influences. And as a guitar player, both pieces are very intricate and took a lot of work for both the band and singers and everyone to get the music together, because it's incredibly challenging, rhythmic and intricate music. And we're very excited to present it and play it.
Perfect. Sarah, how about you?
Yeah, it's a really hard question, Chris. Well, when you were introducing us and when you were introducing Elan, one of the elements of her resume that we missed was she's also one of our choreographers that we're featuring in this show. And I'm really excited about, we have 2 of your pieces in the show. So one of them is a piece that is about 10 years old, I think. The Spaces Between Us, which is a beautiful contemporary piece. But the new piece that we're debuting in the concert, and it's our concert opener, is called Elecha Ekraya, and I'm really excited about this piece. It's everything I think that Chai is known for, with that high energy, with those like deep-rooted folk elements that we all come to love and expect. I think it's an amazing way to open the concert, and Elan just really encapsulated that style beautifully. And I think you even incorporated some street dance in there too. And I mean, you can talk about it more than I can, but yeah, I'm really excited about that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's always nice to hear someone talk about your work back to you. You know, I felt a little overwhelmed choreographing what is my first Moroccan piece. And, you know, we have these just wonderful, they're staples of our repertoire, like Hayao, choreographed by Jessica Casiro. And I just felt like I couldn't compete. So I envisioned this piece as a tribute to our existing Moroccan repertoire with a little bit of a contemporary twist.
Fantastic. One of the other things about Saturday night's concert is there's going to be an alumni component as well. I saw the program, and the number of dance alumni that are coming back is huge. Elan, have you been working with the alumni dancers yet? And what is that going to look like?
Yes. So I had the pleasure of doing my first in-person rehearsal last night. We are being led by Tamar Bar, who choreographed, again, some of our staple repertoire, and also a few other alumni who are on the committee. It is really cool to be in the room because, again, you see past, present, and future, you know, blending and dancing together. And I feel like, you know, each sort of cohort is what I would call them. We all have a slightly different version of choreography, or, you know, our director maybe re-envisioned or reimagined a piece. And so it's like every piece kind of, it bears the trace of people gone by. And so you are, one of our dancers, Zara, a current performer, said something to the extent of, when you're dancing in Chai, you are dancing with everybody who has ever been in Chai. And I think that perfectly encapsulates it.
Mm-hmm. And there's also an alumni musician aspect as well, singers and dancers. How have the rehearsals been going for that?
We have many musicians who are just flying into town for this weekend to perform with the group. So they are doing several days of rehearsals, I believe, starting tomorrow's Wednesday. They will be starting tomorrow and rehearsing several days in a row. They've been organizing their music online up until now. So I know they're very excited and eager to get into the room together. Singers have been rehearsing for months, and there will be more from out of town joining them. So I know they're also excited to all get together and power through a bunch of rehearsals and share this music that they've known and loved for as long as they've been associated with Chai.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure it's just going to be a marvelous show on Saturday night. I'm looking forward to being there as an audience member and seeing Chai from the other side. What do you all hope audiences will take away from Saturday night's show? Sarah?
Just giving myself a second to think of how I'd like to articulate this. I think that I would like our audience to take away just the celebration and the better understanding of who we are as a community and the beauty that our community holds in its history and in its culture and its dance and its music. I think that our community is portrayed in so many different ways throughout the media, and I think that this side of I'm excited to show this side of our community, the side of beauty and of celebration.
Amazing. And Jesse, how about you?
Sure. We've talked about some of the new pieces we're doing, and we've talked about alumni. So I think we're trying to show two things at the same time here with this anniversary show, which is this long history of the group and how meaningful that's been to so many people's lives, both who you'll see on the stage and the audience that will come to the show, how meaningful that's been. And then, as we've mentioned with all these new pieces, we're debuting 6 new pieces, and the idea of that is one piece for each decade to sort of touch on one facet of Chai throughout the years. And I think it's supposed to get across where the group is going. So it's not just a reflection of the past, but of the future of the group. So I think audiences will see all of that on the 9th.
Fantastic. Elan, how about you?
Yeah, I think, with social media, there is no room for nuance. And with art, it just immediately, you feel, you see the nuance of Jewish culture or cultures. And it's not a monolith. And also, I was actually talking about this with my partner, Jeff, who is also an alumnus dancer. And he phrased it really beautifully in that on the night of broken glass, we dance with bare feet. It is a declaration that we are still here and we will be here.
Amazing. Jesse, Sarah, and Elan, this has been so wonderful to see all of you again. The show on Saturday, November 9th at 7:30 at the Club Regent Event Centre is going to be just amazing. All the best, and thanks for taking the time to drop by our Classic 107 studio and talk to me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.